Hi, I'm Van Simonson, and I just went on a odyssey of cheese making. And I went to a dinner party on Saturday with a charcuterie board, not of meats, but of cheeses. I had 5 different cheeses, and I had gluten-free only crackers because anyone can eat those, but those of us who don't eat gluten would have to be picking through and trying to figure out what we could, what we couldn't. So I had a little sign, gluten-free crackers. I had a little sign, no moo cheese. And the thing is that people didn't know that these were not regular cheeses. They thought they were eating cheese until they found out that every one of them was a plant-based cheese. I am whole food, plant-based exclusive, have gone on now into my 5th year of eating only plant foods, and cheese is not on my menu. But this is for everybody. It's for ketos, it's for paleos, it's for everyone. It's for people who are lactose intolerant, because all of these cheeses are just plants. So I want to show you one of the most popular ones, and this is an herbed ricotta cheese, but I'm going to do a little spin on it because this is the end of January. We're going into February, the month for in which throughout the month, one way or another, we're aware of Valentine's days and sweets and red, and I'd like to focus more on what that red represents, always hearts. And what does the heart represent? Quite frankly, it's our lifeblood. The American American Heart Association is calling this Heart Month and recommending that we all reset ourselves health-wise to become the healthiest we can. So I decided that the items that I made for this month and going right into this month, we're going to be heart healthy. And quite frankly, if something's heart healthy, it's just plain healthy for your entire body. So I just made a recipe with a chia raspberry pudding, very heart healthy, with the chias offering a plethora of the omega-3 fatty acids, the raspberries, the fiber, and the antioxidants. And this one is made with tofu. Now, is tofu healthy? Heck yes. We have our balance of fatty acids, we have a complete protein, we have fiber, we have isoflavones that they have shown to actually protect the heart and our cardiovascular system. So I want to show you what I do with the tofu. This is 1 pound of tofu, and I pressed it to get the excess moisture out of it. And this is just a gadget I bought on Amazon. The name of it, I wonder if the name of it, sorry. Yes, the name of it is on its cover, and it says Tofu Bud. And I like it because when I get this out, you know I'm gonna make a mess doing this. Sorry, I think I'll do it over this because it's gonna pour out a little bit of moisture. And I don't want it all over everything. See, it was sandwiched between perforated plates. I'm gonna get this out of here carefully. And I'm gonna break this up. I've washed my hands. This was, do you see how narrow this slice is? It was not quite double that, but almost. So breaking up the tofu. As I said, lots of fiber, lots of protein, a nourishing food, whole food, plant-based, perfect. And then I'm going to add to that some cashews. I could have added white beans, or I could add cashews. This is a recipe that I found on Eat Plant-Based, and go find that, eatplantbased.com. They have marvelous recipes and a lot of great training about eating plant-based or more plant-based or adding plants to your nutrition. Nutritional yeast, which is where we get our umami and sort of a cheesy flavor. I have lemon juice. and almond milk. All of this is on your recipe. I pre-chop in this nifty little Tupperware chopper that you can find on Amazon. It's a string pull kind of thing, and I'll put 15 garlic cloves in there. And I'm going to add a little more. Well, nah, it's Valentine's Day, baby. Not too much garlic. And then, so that's chopped fresh garlic. And then this is what surprised me. And I did add salt. You could add a salt substitute. You could add Benson's Table Tasty, which is a salt substitute. But I did add about a half a teaspoon of salt. You can add less, you can add more. And then I was sure when I first saw this recipe that this thing was going to taste like hay, because this is 3 tablespoons of dry herbs, 1 tablespoon of Italian herb mix, 2 tablespoons of dry basil. And you know what? As I said, this was one of the hits of the party. I had a blue cheese, a red pepper cheese, a crusted white bean cheese that was delicious, and a blue cheese, a cashew blue. As a matter of fact, I have another one in my dehydrator fermenting right now. It was that popular. People wanted to take it home, and I thought, and the birthday girl, 50-year-old birthday girl, really wanted to take my cheeses home, and so I couldn't say no, and so I'm making some extra cheeses. I even had a cheddar cheese that was made of just vegetables. There was in what made a quart of cheese that I poured into different molds, and it was thickened with agar. There was 1/4 cup of cashews. So in other words, yes, there were nuts and we had the fat from the nuts, but the rest of it was all vegetable. So watch for those recipes because I'm going to be putting them up in a few weeks, couple at a time. Okay, so this is going to be a very thick mixture. I don't even know if this is, yeah, this will reach down here. So I'm sorry for the noise, but this is going to take just a bit. But I want you to see it because otherwise you're going to think, oh gosh, this is harder than I thought it would be. And I want you to see that there is a process. Come on, man. Let's see. I'm doing it backwards there. Come on. Okay, stop it a minute. Get it mixed in all the way down to the bottom. Oh, it smells so good. You can double this if you want a lot. Okay. Now, I'm going to do something that I didn't do at the party, but because I'm talking about Valentine's Day and hearts, sorry about that noise, and the color red, I decided, why don't I make for you, at least show you, a heart cheese? Because wouldn't that be fun? And I thought, okay, I'll use roasted red pepper. But I have found, because my favorite hummus is a roasted red pepper hummus, that what I get out of that is a kind of an orange, and I want a red. So I steamed some beet this morning, just steamed it in the microwave. And this is a 1/2 ounce of beet. I'm gonna see how red this makes it. And if it's not enough, I'll put more. If it's crimson, I'll think, could have used less than a 1/2 ounce. And if I need more, I have a full ounce here, so I'll use that if I need to. But let's see what happens. I'm winging it right now because I have not done that. I've done the cheese, but I haven't done the red. So let's see. There. mix it in. Because it's worked itself down into a little bundle at the bottom, I'm not getting much traction with my plunger. And there's still bits of beet here that have not been broken down, so I don't want to put more in, even though I think this is going to be a great color. We don't need it to be too dark. Even red cheese might be off-putting. You know what's off-putting? What's off-putting is because I've offered, let's see, during the holidays, I think I went to 3 or 4 parties with my charcuterie, my cheese board, because I've been really playing around with my vegan cheeses. If people knew, and that's off-putting, if people knew they were vegan, and I said I had my no moo cheese sign, I don't think most people saw it on Saturday because everybody was trying the cheese. What I noticed is that when I said right up front, oh, this is vegan cheese, I lost interest on the part of a number of people. Isn't that interesting? They maybe expect the worst. Maybe think I'm not one of those. I don't know. Okay, come on. Yeah, you're really asking for it when you put your spatula in here. Did you hear that? Probably put a nice little gouge in it, so I'm going to have to look at that before I use it again. Okay, so what I have is about as red as we want to get. Let's make it more pinky. And what is this? Tofu, herbs, lemon, garlic, nutritional yeast. Now, how am I going to make this a heart? What I should do is I should form it, refrigerate it, and show it to you later. And I may really pay for this, but I'm going to try to do this differently. I'm going to, may not work. I'm going to try to turn it out. Oh, man. Well, okay, I'm just going to try. So I have, let me show you. This is one of my cheese molds. I just got, they are stainless steel, but they are coated or finished so that they're a non-stick. And I put on the bottom, I don't know if you could see that, yes, paper, just cut rounds. And I did this with my cheeses, all of them. Some of my cheeses were fermented, some of them weren't. And they're fermented in a dehydrator. Finally got myself a dehydrator. Chef AJ is always talking about how she dehydrates her granola and can make crackers and dehydrates her kale chips. And I finally got a dehydrator so I could do my cheese. And I haven't done the other things yet, but I'm going to. Now, when this cools, I don't mean cools, when this gets cold and it sits a while, it sets up much more easily because anytime you use nutritional yeast or anything that's somewhat starchy, even though nutritional yeast isn't really a starch, it's more protein than starch, it thickens. The whole thing kind of binds better. But I'm just too anxious to show you. And if this doesn't work at all, I'm going to have to redo this whole video. Darn it. We'll see. Okay. So this is I like these 4-inch rounds. Can do a nice amount of cheese. Now, what the heck am I doing? You said, Nan, this was going to be a heart. Well, just watch this. Okay. See if I can detach the sides. push this over, pull this back, and turn it out. Come on, man. Yay! I don't have to do the video again. You know what I meant to do? I meant to taste this and be sure it's just the way I wanted it. Too late now. That is so good. And, I'm sorry. And it hasn't even set up. All these things need to blend. All these spices, all these herbs, they need to blend. Okay. Let's get this softened a little bit. Well, I'm pleased. All right. Now what I'm going to do, how do you make a heart? Well, you could just do a circle, but you're going to push in the top of the circle and round it out. Now, you may be much more creative than me and would do this much more beautifully. But I'm going to do it just enough to show you what I'm up to. And then you can either use the beet and turn your cheese a weird pink, or and make it a beet cheese, an herby beet cheese, but I don't know that you could really call it a beet cheese when there's 1/2, and that's what I was making a point of, 1/2 of an ounce of beet. That was it. Okay. There we go. Now, I'll clean it up a bit. And let me show you what we have here. So, cheese, what are you going to do with it? Well, you can put it on vegetables. I also had a glass, a short, almost like a Manhattan glass, full of thin celery sticks. People were putting it on that. I had apple slices. People were putting it on that. I've had carrots, because you can swipe a carrot through a cheese. Are you done yet, man? Well, that looks fine. Okay. Not as nice as it could. And it would have been prettier if I just put it on a, transferred it. Okay. So, we have our heart cheese. Ta-da. Whoops. Can you see that? And you can make it prettier. And let me give you an idea of how to serve this. So I have some crackers, and I got these at Trader Joe's, but you can get something like this, well, almost anywhere. These are gluten-free. They're crisp bread, Norwegian crisp bread, and they are seeds. This is whole grain, but no wheat, of course, rye or barley, and really delicious. I would be able to spread this on a piece of crunchy flatbread. I could use Mary's Gone crackers because I want some whole food crackers. Mary's Gone crackers, whole sesame seed, whole brown rice, whole flax seeds, whole quinoa. Lots of fiber, lots of protein, about 10 calories a cracker. I don't count calories, but I remain aware of the significance of them as it relates to the quantity of food we eat a day. Now, I think this is much prettier when it's just white, but I'm making a point. Your heart-shaped cheese appetizer. And even though this doesn't look like a lot, this feeds a crowd because people don't put massive amounts on their crackers. And so this is the Mary's. And then I had something else to show you. And that is, oh, well, there's is it no, it's Milton's, but these aren't whole grain. There's Milton's gluten-free. It's a very nice plain cracker that's delightful with cheeses, but again, not whole grain. There are these little rice crackers, again, gluten-free, nice for something like this, but not whole grain. But what about something like this? And this is a radish. This is called a watermelon radish. A friend of mine brought me a couple of them. And my husband and I, yesterday, were playing. We were eating some of the cheeses. And I put some of the cheeses, my blue cheese, my red pepper cheese, my herbed cheese. This is an herbed ricotta. Would be white, and it was. So it was really pretty on the radish. Works as red as well. And the cheesy, salty brininess on a radish is fantastic. Jicama, you could use jicama the same way. That's all I want to say. Enjoy the month. Enjoy heart-healthy foods. I wonder if I could, I don't think I could bring this to you. Oh, I know what I'll do here. There you go. There it is. Enjoy heart-healthy foods, and remember that what you do to nourish yourself will take you, into years and years of longer life if you give your body what it needs. And what it needs and what it wants is whole foods that are plant-based. Have a great day. I know I'm going to. Bye-bye.